Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Patreon podcast. This is episode 200, which is kind of wild to think about. I started this way back in 2019 as kind of an extension of the creative exploration series that I did on YouTube. I had stalled out on that series because I was just kind of overworked with the video format. I was trying to do a video every week, and it was just way too much. So I took a break from that, and eventually I kind of just migrated this idea stuff over to Patreon, because I wanted to add and bring more value to Patreon. And it went really well, I think. I know that I'm kind of winding down on the podcasts now. I kind of figured I'll go to 208, which is 4 years. And yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I wanted to talk again about like milestones and celebrating the big events, you know. And I'm going to get into this more over the next couple episodes anyway, because I'm winding down a lot of different stuff in my life that's been kind of a major like keystone for a lot of what I've done over the last 8 years. And I want to talk about all of that. And yeah, but like just sitting down and celebrating these events, and just the fact that, you know, I've been putting this out, not every week, but almost every week for the last 4 years, is like, it's worth celebrating, you know? And I think that it's important to take the time to recognize that and understand that you did something important, whether that's, you know, working on, you know, an album or finishing something. Just like those milestones of just getting stuff done and out there are so important. And, you know, I'm realizing that I don't really have anything in specific to say today, but I wanted to just talk about it a little bit. And just like, I think that when you start something, you get so wrapped up in the honeymoon process of it, where you're just like, man, this is great, this is fun, this is something new and interesting. And as you move forward with that project and continue to grow with it and change with it, like, you know, your perceptions of it can change. And I know with the 2-hour track challenge, I have hit slumps before, and I kind of pulled myself out of them. It's the same thing with the podcast, where it's like there are some weeks where it's like I had a list of things that I wanted to say, but they don't always, like, I wasn't as enthusiastic about saying it. But, you know, it's important to keep that consistency, or at least try to keep that consistency. Like I said, with these podcast recordings, I have missed a couple weeks over the last couple of years, which is fine. It's fine to miss weeks. I've talked about that in the past. But, you know, I feel like I have said pretty much everything that I'm able to say. I have, like I said, 7 more episodes lined up after this. And like, I don't really know what I can say after that. I need a break from these so I can basically gather more experience and knowledge and kind of understand myself a little bit better, and take some time to reflect and grow and change on my own. And then most likely I'll start some kind of incantation or iteration of this again. And, you know, the whole process will start over in a different form. And I think that that's really kind of the wonderful thing about creativity, especially this type of work, where it's not like based off of, you know, current events or anything like that. It's mostly just talking about this kind of perpetual feeling about making stuff. Like, what I'm talking about here can translate into like how people made stuff 100 years ago, or probably how people will make stuff 100 years from now. Like, it's all about like your mental approach and how you manage your creative energy and stuff like that. And that doesn't change. That's a lot more static. And I think that just kind of taking a different approach and celebrating this milestone for what it is, and trying to get back into understanding how to grow and how to put myself out there again, I think will be really good. The this week I did a recording, or I did a stream, and I invited my buddy Shaka Panda on it, and it was a very different experience to have him in voice chat with me while making a song. And I think that it was a very positive experience for me, because it allowed me to talk about the process and go on different tangents that I wouldn't have otherwise with just like reading chat and responding to chat. And, you know, that might be one iteration that I take when I evolve from the 2-hour track challenge. I'm not really sure, because obviously that relies on other people being available, but yeah, it's worth looking into there. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I thought I had more to say with this one, and then all of a sudden I realized that I kind of said it all in the first 30 seconds, which happens. But I'm really pleased with, you know, where we were and where we've been, and how far we've come through there. And I'm really glad that I had you along on this journey. I again, like, there's still episodes left. There's still 2 months of episodes and all that other stuff, but I'm winding stuff down, and I'm trying to kind of gracefully close things out, which is going to be, you know, other episodes talking about closing things out and kind of the rewards of doing things and doing a job for longer than, you know, 3 months or a week or whatever, just like sticking with it and understanding and growing through that process. So anyway, I hope that you got something out of this episode. It's mostly just me rambling, but I have a feeling that the majority of these episodes are just me rambling. So that's how it goes. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening. I thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. I really genuinely do appreciate it. I hope that you have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Be remarkable.